Hello, everybody, and welcome to Best of Three, a podcast made in esports. I'm Mike, and once again joined here with the incomparable, one-of-a-kind, unique Alex Kim. Alex, how you doing?
Do you know how many Kims there are in the world?
Nah,
How many
man.
Alex Kims there probably are in the world?
But how many of them are you?
None of them are as crispy as I am.
Exactly. None of them are as crispy as you. They try. They try. Alex, how was your week?
It was good. Just prepping for waves to open back up, which is very exciting. So we have some free play happening for the next couple days,
Okay.
just to get everybody back, and show some appreciation to our fans
So
as a little
what
welcome back
does free play mean? Does it
gift.
mean what it
So
sounds like it means?
it means what it sounds like it means. So if you want to come through, it is free play for the next 3 days. And then also we're doing 50% off all memberships for the first month that we're open. So
Whoa. Look at
yeah,
you, dude. Wow.
stuff's happening.
So how has that been for the past couple days?
I will tell you one thing
Yeah,
that yeah, the venue was definitely, needed some organization, some
I
cleaning
can
maybe,
imagine. You
some
guys must have much
updates.
like any business, right? Like everyone just kind of had to pick up and leave one day.
Exactly. Yeah. So we did a lot of reorganizing of the venue.
Right.
We had to make sure all the games, all the computers, everything was updated. So
Mm,
there's a new GG system that's an updated system that's in all of our PCs right now, which actually looks fantastic. So props to them. I had it's pretty much the software that you're going to see at most LAN centers,
mhm.
and they gave it a sweet overhaul. It just looks so much better with full screen video, and everything. So we can
Wow.
play ads on there, and it's not as clunky looking or
Right.
like sort of old and dated as it did before.
Yeah,
So
it kind of gave me like the old school BattleNet kind of vibes.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that
So
Warcraft 3 feeling. It's cool that they took that
mm.
time to give like an update. Yeah. Ka-chunk. Exactly.
That's what it is. It's a ka-chonk, not a dunk.
It is really just a ka-chunk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ka-chonk.
Mhm.
So that's exciting, and we reorganized a bit for all of our Parabellum family to come through,
All right.
set up some training area, move the retail space a bit, and just it's a work in progress, but we're good to open. So
Cool. All
yeah,
right. Well, that's awesome. And I'm glad that lots of things are happening for you this week.
abs-
As for
sounds
me, we've
good.
got and it's interesting. I'm looking into a new game today. I'm actually going to be playing it in alpha. Barely even has a name right now, but
Ooh,
going to be streaming that later tonight, and I'm excited to do it. It's the first time like anyone's kind of reached out to me and was like, "Hey, you want to try this out?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah,
yeah,
let's do
I'm
it."
in. The game that has no name.
Yeah. Well, it's got a project title. It's called Spider Tank Project right now. Um,
Sweet. Okay.
but we'll see what that
Well,
entails.
I gotta tune in to find out
Let's
what
do it.
does that look like
What does it look like?
exactly. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're back on Rumble again. We're also on Twitter Spaces. So if you're following the Bo3 Podcast on Twitter or Made in Esports, I should say, on Twitter, you will be able to hear us speaking there. As well as if you're following us on Rumble, rumble.com, you'll be able to find us there.
So many places to find us.
So many places. And of course, it's really important. I'm going to say this right up at the top. We usually save it until the end, but sometimes we forget. Uh, it would be really cool if you're listening to this right now, and if you've listened to multiple episodes of Best of Three or any of the other awesome projects that we put out on Made in Esports, like Esports Unfiltered or CA Esports, if you would consider subscribing to the channel, because there's a lot more content that we're going to be putting out over the next little bit, and we're excited to show you guys,
Yeah, we're
especially now that we're
excited.
going back in person.
So you guys can get excited, show us some love, and
Yeah.
yeah, we'll keep this going.
And in time, the two of us we might just be in the same room together. I mean,
Maybe
fact is
someday.
we figured out the workflow for best of 3 online, and that's pretty good.
Yes.
And I think a lot of podcasts are kind of feeling the same way when, like, people have been able to move during this past, year and a bit. And they're like, we can just keep that going because we can, do things over Zoom, over Discord, over Meet, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Riverside,
and
Showcast.
we have been. So, we'll see, but I would love to still sit down in person with people and, it's just gives it that extra level of sort of authentic conversation, discussion,
I was
and,
gonna say authenticity too, yeah,
yeah.
but I think you can definitely tell often when somebody is like in person versus online, where
Maybe
like
it's not even authentic. It's like, what's the
people
word?
are more
It's
cordial when
it's
they're online together.
enriched. It's like
Mm.
a more enriched, experience, and you get a more enriched product.
You
So
can have a very like structured argument uh in person. Online it's like one person's talking, they're trying to get their thought out, and then the other person starts talking, and then they stop, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you go."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that. That was the early Zoom days. A lot of that happened. So
big early Zoom days. A lot of people are more used to it now. They're back to talking the way that they used to, so it's
yeah.
less like that. All right, so today we're talking in the theme of going back to LAN, in the theme of being in person. Speaking a lot about that, about CDL and the Overwatch League as well, a bunch of other things as well. Um, we're also going to be talking about the Faze cryptocurrency scam, which, boy,
Why did you get like
uh, man, again, like, did we talked about this last week, I think, just with Faze. Like, I respect them as a business, but I refuse to follow a lot of their stuff because that's just not my
I'm
cup of
inclined to
tea.
agree. I'm
Yeah.
inclined to agree. Um,
I like my orgs a little more polite.
it's just there's still sportsmanlike conduct that should happen. And we'll
Yeah,
get into that.
we'll
Hey.
get into it. We're also going to be talking about the CLG Bud Light video, Warzone consoles hack, and the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
I'm so stoked for that game. So stoked for that
Yes,
game.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, put my SpongeBob against powdered toast, man. Let's do it. Okay, let's get going though. Let's talk about LAN. Uh, the CDL will be back to LAN for their major 4 in
So
June.
Major 4 actually happened in
They were back.
they were back.
They've
And
been back.
it was actually pretty exciting, to see everybody back at the major, just when you're watching and seeing them all together on stage, but also you really get to see that difference in, I don't know,
Mhm.
skill, I wanna say. When you're back to land, like, everyone's back to, "Okay, this is a true test."
Yeah.
Online, there's a little bit more random stuff that can happen. You can deal with lag, you can deal with whatever technical issues, and it can
Mhm.
affect your play. But LAN, no excuses. You know, your skill will prevail.
Right.
Yeah,
All of the CDL teams will be back to LAN later this season, as announced by the CDL. That is so awesome to see things coming back. Nature is healing.
that's the one thing though. I think yes, the LAN came back. The LAN experience came back for the players,
Mhm.
but it did not come back for the fans, for the people watching. That's
Not for
that's
all
what
of
I
them. I think for a like big handful of people, they're heading back.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the Overwatch League as well, they've been playing LAN tournaments since June as well, I believe. So
Right.
they started with June Joust, got the Summer Showdown, and then yeah, the Countdown Cup is gonna happen in August.
They love their
So
alliteration. OWL. Summer Showdown, June Joust, Countdown Cup.
I
Uh,
mean, I too love my alliteration. I try to use as much alliteration as possible when
sure.
I can.
Sure. No, but that's awesome. I mean, like bringing things back to in person, that has always been the goal. Everyone knows that that's what it wanted to be. Because I think for a little while there, we were like, oh, it's fine. It's online games. They're all going to be, roughly the same kind of experience. No, 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 no. Turns out a year and a half in, not like that at all. It is a lot of performance anxiety. It's a lot of being with your other teammates. The feeling of morale plays a big part in your in-person performance, and you don't really get that kind of stuff just being over Discord with each other.
Dude, if I was playing TI and I was sitting in my, office and working like as if I was working, I would not get the same feeling as being on stage in front of,
Right.
however many thousands of people and, you know, um, like millions of people watching worldwide, right? So it's so different. You don't get that same charge, and honestly, I look at these things mostly from a fan perspective because I am a fan and I just want it back. Why do the players get to have all the fun right now?
Right, exactly. Exactly. I want to be there so bad. And I'm sure
But
sports fans kind of must have had the same kind of feeling, right? Because
yeah,
the players were obviously the first ones to be able to go back, and they were able to play in the empty stadium with like cutouts of people in the stands all around the arena. But like
they even
people who
had
are,
like video boards where
yeah,
people could phone in and like be there.
exactly. So it's kind of like it's interesting to see it coming back in the same way, and I suppose that makes sense because it's the same arenas that you're renting out, and that's just uh the standard fare for those places. Um, but it's
Well,
interesting to see it come back in the same way.
I'm excited for like the home stands and the home series for the CDL and Overwatch League because like yes, they did return to LAN, but
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily the same thing. Even with the Overwatch League, like all three of these events are located in Asia,
yeah,
where they had the earliest lockdowns and they were able to sort of they're the first ones out as well, right? So this is limited to Asia
hmm
and the Asian teams. So even the Overwatch League, it's sort of the teams that are in and around there that can make it to these events, right? But to roll out with the full home series, homestand type situation again,
yeah.
fans present, it looks like it's slowly coming into view.
And I mean, there are always going to be organizations that kind of lag behind. Like right now, I don't even know if this is you tell me if this is considered lagging behind. Like the LCK is the only one of the major regions in OWL to
The LCK in League of Legends.
League of Legends. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
uh, to play not to play locally.
Yeah.
So
Um,
is
so
that them lagging behind, or are they thinking about this differently?
I want to say Asia is set up differently, like,
Hmm.
especially the LCK, in Korea, their internet is just so good and their region is a lot smaller than others, right? So, even if you are playing from home, it's, like, still pretty close in proximity. I would say that they're okay doing that,
Mm,
you know?
that's fair. That's fair. Also, I mean, they do have a very solid online backing too, so that should be cool.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider it, like, a lagging behind thing because Korea definitely is. They were one of the first, again, like I said,
Yeah.
out of this sort of pandemic lockdown situation that we're all facing. So you see, like the LEC and the LCS, they never stopped having in-person tournaments. So
Right.
um, like they had like what, like maybe like 30 people in they had sorry, they had maybe like 30 people
Hmm.
in attendance, something like that. They had like 10% capacity or maybe less or something. So it's
Wow.
it's not even really like the same thing either. They're still far off from that same thing. They're not sitting there with live audiences while nobody else has it, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But that's how I see it.
Now, did this next thing happen today? That was today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
So in
yeah,
front of a
yeah.
live audience, League of Legends. announced that they're finally returning to North America. Today, the
Yes.
League of Legends Champion Series, otherwise known as the LCS, announced that the LCS Championship, delivered by Grubhub, sponsor, will be held at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, on August 28th and 29th. I know people in New Jersey. They're going to want to go.
And that's close for us.
Mm.
We can go there.
Oh, no, we can't we?
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if I would, but we can. The option is there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, that's okay. So here's the thing, right? People may have forgotten this because it's about a year and a half in distance. But when lockdowns first started happening, the people who got hit the hardest and the people who had the toughest time were people trying to go across the border.
Mhm.
And ooh, I feel like you're rolling a pair of dice where if you land snake eyes, you are not getting back home in the next 2 weeks. Like,
Yes.
that's
It's,
rough.
dicey,
It's
eh?
hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty dicey. I don't know if I would make that trip. Okay, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Would you feel okay, so it's, August, the end of August, so
Mhm.
we got, we got a month and a bit. Would you feel comfortable going to an in-person event?
I don't think
A
so.
large scale in-person event?
I no, I don't think so. I think if you were to ask me that same question in May when I got my first dose, where they were like, "Hey, so in a month and a half after you've been vaccinated for the second time, would you want to go to an event?" I would still say no then because I'd
Mm,
still be afraid of all the people who aren't. I still think that they're rolling out these vaccinations at a pace that doesn't make me comfortable in the next maybe 3 to 4 months
3
uh,
to 4 months, okay.
going places. Ask me again in October, November. We'll see if I'm going out for Halloween.
Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Okay.
Um, you're not comfortable with that, but, do you have your second vaccine?
Yes.
And you do. Okay, yeah, I do as well. Are you worried about the other variant? Is that something that's on your mind, or you're concerned more with the vaccination of the current variant?
I am concerned more with the vaccination of the current variant. I think that the um, by and large one that's going around is the one that I'm more scared of. The other variant is just like, okay, well, we've got the procedures in place. We're all not all, but a lot of us are, staying back at home, social distancing, wearing masks, doing all that good stuff. People are taking their time so that this thing doesn't catch on. But we'll see.
For sure.
There's so much misinformation going around right now that I'm not even sure what to believe anymore. So when I'm not sure what to believe, then it's just do the safest thing as possible and sit back. You
It's a
know what
good
I mean?
call, it's a good call.
Yeah.
And I am inclined to agree with you. If this was happening in Toronto, the LCS championship was happening in Toronto, I would actually consider going.
Yeah.
But to travel across a border, and then to deal with a different country's sort of rules or procedures on
Yeah.
how they handled COVID. I know Canada and how what's happening with everything here. I'd be comfortable with it. I think I could do that. End of August, I would go to this event,
Yes. Yes.
but not if I have to cross a border.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
This were
Yeah,
in Vancouver. Sure. I'd be happy to fly even across the country to go and
yeah,
be in
for
an
sure.
event.
Vancouver as
Yeah.
well. I would 100%. I would fly to that event. Yeah.
Hmm.
LCS championships, like of course,
Hmm.
it's worth it. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the
Next.
thing that I don't want to talk about. We're talking about the phase scam. Okay. So phase. There was a private pre-sale to roughly 200 investors. It was an altcoin. And for those of you who have been in the crypto space for a little bit, or you've heard at least a little bit about it, you'll know about things like Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, probably Doge. Uh, Now, the idea is that everything that isn't Bitcoin is essentially an altcoin, but even within altcoins, there are all of these like very, very niche
Altcoin.
like altcoins, like truly altcoins. And there's been a big resurgence in that this year because of the spike of Bitcoin. Not everybody, a lot of organizations are creating their own cryptocurrency. And quite a few of them do so via pre-sale. So they give like IOUs to people who will buy X amount of tokens, and then when the actual thing comes out, then they're given the amount of tokens that they bought at typically a cheaper price than what it ends up as. Everyone assumes that it's going to be a larger price once the coin legit drops, because that's when all the marketing happens. That's when yada
Right.
yada. So this altcoin was released with at pre-launch with a total supply of 1 billion tokens, which is that's pretty standard. That is
Yeah,
about what
that's
people will do with a smart contract. Yeah. Within within 4 hours of the hashtag kids launch, and that's what people are calling it. It's just a dollar sign. It's called a hashtag. Hashtag kids.
not hashtag.
No. The token's market price shot up almost 500% and then crashed right back down below its initial price. And this is not uncommon. This happens.
Is 4 hours. 4 hours. It's
Yes.
like if you weren't watching this minute by minute, you would be one of the people left holding this bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, immediately the thing that I completely dislike about this, I hate, is that this was started by Faze, and Faze, we know that there are a lot of people in Faze who have a lot of money, and people who will buy into this kind of stuff, or people who have been invested in crypto. And so when they see that Faze is starting up their own crypto, of course they're going to buy into it.
It wasn't Faze's crypto. It was Save the Kids, and it was supposed to help kids in need, essentially.
So, excuse me, then why is this Faze's scam?
They were hired to promote it, essentially.
Yeah.
They were given either I mean, they did say that these Phase members or whoever's promoting the coin was not compensated for this, and that they were doing it out of the goodness of their heart for Save the Kids, maybe. But they definitely either got free tokens,
Sure.
they either got a fat discount or something. They had a bunch of these tokens somehow.
The community that they're in has a lot of money. Like they're talking with a lot of, one, impressionable youth, and two, the rest of their group who has a lot of money. And so
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they went and bought up all of those tokens or lots of those tokens, but I think that a hefty amount of those tokens were probably bought by people in their immediate circle who would, watch their content. So man, like this kind of stuff happens. This kind of stuff happens when people buy in on pre-sale. You're supposed to be watching right when the coin drops, because that's when it will do the thing of going up way high and then dropping right down low, because all of those investors who got in a pre-sale are now seeing this big spike and they're like, perfect time to sell. And that whole spike, like all the way up, that's when people are buying. That's when the new people who are seeing it for the first time are buying in. And that's when those people leave.
A pump and dump.
A pump and dump, or in some cases, a rug pull. Yes.
I don't know what a rug pull is.
So a rug pull has to do with the liquidity of a token. You can tell that I've spent a little bit of time in crypto. A rug pull is when the liquidity of a token is taken out due to everybody selling all at once. Now, liquidity has to do with the amount of which a token can move, right? So if you have a lot of money in there, then there's a lot of money in circulation, then people can take their money out. If there's not enough liquidity, then people can't take their money out.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, Banks and actually all of these members, Jarvis, Nikan, and Tico were suspended. And then K was actually removed from the org. But Banks has said that he had no idea any of this was happening.
Mm.
And he actually found out about what was happening through a video by CoffeeZilla, sort of detailing the scam. And he's like, that's how he found out about this. And he immediately handed out these punishments, is what he's saying. Um, it's tough because in my experience, how this type of thing would work is you would have people from the org who, were approached
Mhm.
with some sort of deal, and it's like, "Hey, get your players to promote this," or whatever, and then, these guys probably push it to their players, and they're like, "You'll be fine, like, you'll be able to make a bunch of money, just, like, put in some mo make a couple tweets about it, put in some money, then you can sell it later," whatever it is, right? Um, I don't think there's any way that the organization did not know about this until I mean, it was all over social media as well,
Yeah.
so there's no way.
So my question is, a lot of them, the members there are allegedly facing
Allegedly.
jail time accompanied with 7-figure fines. My
Yes.
question, why?
This is this is, that allegation sorta came from, Banks himself, so Faze
Okay.
Banks himself, the CEO, owner of Faze. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know, it's the way he's acting is very
PR,
he's
corporate.
definitely yeah, he's definitely trying to, like, make good on try to cover this up a little bit and smooth things over.
Okay.
Um, it doesn't give me confidence that he didn't know about all of this. And then he actually even Kay sent a cease and desist to this YouTuber, right? He's saying, "Oh, I'm innocent." Like, "You're just slandering me in your video and, like, making these claims that are simply not true." This YouTuber CoffeeZilla, he's actually known for detailing sort of online scams in his videos.
Uh-huh.
So this is sort of the video he made, and he actually made this video before all of the stuff about the scams came out. He was sort of talking about Save the Kids and stuff like that and how it looked like a scam. But yeah, he because of this video, Banks found out about it. He was removed from his organization and all of this stuff. So he's threatening to sue CoffeeZilla. Like, not a good look from these people. It doesn't look like they are innocent, in my opinion.
I see.
It's yeah. CoffeeZilla details like, he even looked into their crypto wallets. What were they doing? They consistently sold at the peak
Of course.
prices that they could possibly,
Oh, of course.
and it's like, it's if they actually thought that this was something that they can, that had value long term, they wouldn't do that. They would hold on to their coins. They would
Yes and no. I mean, at the same time, if your money went 5x, if you put your money in something and it went up 5 times, would you really keep it in?
no.
Right. Like,
It's it's tough. It's
if I
tough,
put in
but
$1,000 and that turned into $5,000, and either I can keep it in there and hope that it goes higher, or I can take it out, then I'm gonna take it out. What does I need to look into what hashtag kids is actually supposed to do,
it
because
looks like a scam.
it looks like a scam.
If you look into it, it looks like a scam. I
Mm.
don't know what they really
Well,
do.
that's the thing too. Is we all need to kind of do our due diligence and learn about what these tokens actually do, because oftentimes a lot of them are like, if you put in money, then a certain percentage of it goes towards charity, or if you take out money, then a certain percentage of it goes towards charity. And if that's the case, then all the money that was taken out is actually a good thing for Save the Kids. But I don't know if having a high token price is actually good for Save the Kids. I know it's good for hashtag kids because all the people in there have their money go up, but I don't know if that actually say it helps the thing itself. If people are upset because they lost a lot of money, that's fair. If people are upset because they lost a lot of money, Also, that's crypto. That has been just a general experience, but people haven't been serving jail time for it, you know? So I don't know.
I mean, it's pump and dumps are illegal, right? So,
Ah,
yeah, I guess in stocks, I don't know. Crypto is like a gray area, so
yeah,
yeah.
but what you know, like
Uh,
with everything that's being looked at on social media and online and via YouTube influencers. That's the problem with influencers peddling coins, by the way, is it gets everybody's eyes on it at the same time. So it'll go up real fast because everybody gets to buy, and then it'll go down even faster because when people get scared, they will sell.
yeah, it's
Anyway,
an emotional thing.
let's move on. I'm getting emotional.
Oh, yeah. Well, I bet you these players on CLG are super emotional.
I guess.
It was
Yeah, I bet. Hey, should we take a quick break, by the way?
Yeah,
Cool.
let's do that and we can get to the CLG Bud Light video after the break.
Let's do it. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. So during the break, I started to watch this video, the CLG Bud Light video. Um, very interesting. Jake Lucky put out a tweet earlier this week saying earlier today, CLG posted a video of a private meeting in quotes, mind you, uh,
Private.
where they informed players that some of them will be losing their jobs. There's also sponsored content, so that's nice. CLG has since apologized. Um,
The video was up for a while actually before they took it down, but
right.
okay, initial reactions to the video.
So, um, I do believe that it is authentic. Um, I also think that they were probably wildly prepared for whatever was about to be filmed. Just because the reactions all seemed very somber and nobody was really surprised or shocked.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's probably where that ended up. But I do think that there's merit in what they're saying. They are trying to just, and this, by the way, is what CLG said afterwards. They had said this morning we published a short post game video giving a look behind the scenes of our current season. I think that was the intent.
That
I
was
do
definitely
believe
the
that was the
intent.
intent. Our goal
That
was to
was
share an
definitely the
authentic
intent.
moment with our fans and be as transparent as possible leading up to potential changes that may occur this week. That part I think is a lie. Um,
Mm,
because you don't drop news on your people at the same time that you are recording it for your fans. Um, always 100% of the time, the people in your org and the people who you manage get the news first.
yeah.
Um, so again, and it's like a little white lie. Like I don't think that's like the biggest I don't think that's a problem here. It's just
The
not
thing that
believing that.
gets me is that, 1, it's sponsored by Bud Light.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it like, so you're watching this video, and then the coach comes in and he's like, "We're not doing well, we're not clicking, there's gonna be some changes, and this may be the last time we're all together in the
Yeah.
same room. Bud Light." And then back, and then you're like, "Sorry to everyone, I love all of you guys, blah, 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 whatever it is, Bud Light." It
Yeah.
happens twice in the video,
See, but
it's
to Bud Light though, Bud Light asked probably. I'm putting my mind in the shoes of Bud Light, asking for some kind of behind the scenes look at what is going on. And it's not that Bud Light is asking them to fire some people for them. It's that Bud Light is asking them for a look after a look at what happens in the post game.
yeah, it's
It's just
honestly, I
unfortunate that it's this. It's very unfortunate that it's this.
even with Bud Light, I think them sponsoring a series that is behind the scenes look at the team, that's completely fine, and even this video, I think, is is somewhat problematic, but, like, I don't think the reaction and the n this sort of need to, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, let's take down this video." I
Yeah.
think this knee-jerk reaction that always happens with a lot of, esports, but just, media in general these days, I don't think it was necessary for them to take down the video. I think it deserved some criticism, and I don't think they should have backpedaled that far.
I think that this required a lot more context and time. I think that if this was um, a video foreshadowing what was going to happen later, then that's problematic. If you go into this room and you show the faces of all five of the people on your roster and you say, one of you five will not be here the next time people see the video from us or the next time people see our team playing, that's a problem. What could have
Yes.
happened, this minute and 3 second video that was put out could have been a precursor to Team CLG like changing up the way that they do things and like making it so that nobody actually has to leave and then they win the next tournament.
Mm,
Like this could have
not
been
gonna
a
happen.
zero to hero story. Instead, they kept it at zero at their lowest. And they're like, what will happen next? Follow us for more. It's like, no, the team is under fire right now. The team is having trouble right now. Now might be
Yeah.
the time to jump ship. That's bad for CLG.
Yeah, that's really the thing is I feel like they backpedaled and they pulled it because of fan reaction, but if
Mhm.
you're gonna pull it for anything, pull it because it's a bad look on CLG. Like, I don't think it was necessarily such a problem or so offensive
Yeah.
to the general public that they should have removed it. It didn't seem like a good video putting them in a good light, is I just question sort of their logic in putting that out about themselves, so, I don't know.
Yeah, like, it is weird that nobody kinda had objection to the fact that they were having a conversation about one of them losing their livelihood here. Like,
I don't know. It's something that I've talked about before too, but like, sorry. Oh, that was Cloud9. Sorry, I'm just getting. We're not talking about Cloud9. We're talking about CLG. Sorry. So next one.
next one.
Next topic.
Alright, we're talking the Warzone console hack. So, there is a new, cheat program that has the typical anti-competitive features like auto aim, auto lock on, the ability to detect which weapon a player is using to automatically reduce recoil. The hack is advertised with it. Sorry, Alex, tell me what
Yeah,
this means.
advertised with the Call of Duty franchise. So they put out this video. They put out, like a standard cheat video where it's showing this guy playing Call of Duty. So it was advertised with Call of Duty.
Uh huh.
But it's a typical cheat video like, oh, auto aim, win your games, etc. Blah blah blah. He's going around and he's just shooting people in the head. But it was Call of Duty. The interesting thing is most hacks are made for a certain game or a certain platform.
Oh, I
This
see.
hack is next level. It works with any game and any console and is apparently undetectable.
I see.
It's messed up. This is really, really bad for competitive players everywhere in any game. Um, so I think it uses some sort of AI
Uh huh.
to actually learn where heads are and start to detect and then start to it actually change so you just have to aim in its direction and it sort of adjusts your input. So
Right.
it looks like you're actually controlling this. Very, very hard to detect. And it uses this AI to just get better and better and,
Yeah.
shoot people in the head.
I've heard about things like these. It's this new like add-ons these days are kind of next level. Before for those of you who are new to console gaming or PC gaming at that, um, there is there was when you were going to hack into a game, you needed to download this file which would go into the folder of the actual game and it would change some of the files in there so that it could gain access to the game when you're inside it. And now with machine learning and AI and all of the things that, all the technology that has increased over the past decade or so, uh, AI is now able to just look at what your screen is seeing and then just make your mouse movements and your keyboard clicks for you
How do you detect this?
based on what it's seeing. So it's emulating you. It's not changing your game, it's emulating you, which is terrifying for people who are playing the game with their two hands and 10 up to fingers, plus or minus. It's very tough.
And the reason that it caused so many, so much noise, so much waves is
Yeah.
because it's for console. Previously,
Yeah.
console players were like, "Oh, hacking is all on PC. Let's just turn off crossplay and I don't have to deal with cheaters." No more.
Oh,
This
nice.
works on anything. And even mobile gaming has a huge cheating problem as well. PUBG Mobile recently actually banned 38 million players for
3.8. That's
sorry.
3.8.
Oh, whoa, decimal. 3.8.
Imagine
Sorry.
30.
I
Imagine
said
that,
that
man.
wrong. I said that wrong.
Imagine.
3.8 million players for, modding and X-ray vision hacks and, etc. This is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane on mobile. So
Mobile.
it's like, okay, so what do you think? Do you think what Asia does to hackers is what, North America should do to hackers? Like, it's illegal. You will go to jail if you create, sell, or distribute hacks.
Yes, I think if you are the creator, then that lies on you. I think there should at least be a fine, a like hefty fine, but I don't know if like jail time is necessarily the answer. I think that um giving people a monetary reason not to go and do this is important.
Give them a little jail time. Just throw a little bit of that on there.
I
It's just like a little
guess.
bit, just a little bit. I fully think that what you need to do to combat these hacks and cheaters and whatever is, yeah, jail time. Not if you used a cheat. Yeah, I don't
No.
think you should go to jail. Definitely people who are, if you go after the creators, you go after the distributors, the
Yeah.
people that are selling this stuff. These people are the people that are most responsible, and they should be held accountable, and they should serve jail time, in my opinion.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if you use a cheat, whatever. You're a scumbag. You're kind of a piece of shit. You don't necessarily deserve to go to jail for that.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. That's
I,
how I feel.
I can respect it. I don't know if I think a trial is important. I think it's
Oh,
important to
of
to
course.
figure out.
Like, yeah, trial and everything, due process, right? You got
Yeah.
to go through the justice system, but yeah.
Yeah. But because I mean, like, there's a whole like, oh, hey, look, I made something cool. Like, there's that aspect of it, and to tread into like illegality, that's bad. But I don't know if that's like,
Well, so with the guy who created this,
yeah.
it said coming soon in the video. Apparently, he had not actually released it.
Hmm.
He was just contacted by, Blizzard Activision to, stop, get rid of all the Call of Duty
Cease and
stuff,
desist kind of thing.
like
Yeah.
cease and desist. Yeah, like we will sue the pants off you. We will go after you hard. And he sort of defended himself and he said, like I put this out there, but like I put this video out there, but the actual cheat itself, I didn't. So,
I see.
we'll see if it surfaces or whatever, but I get the feeling that stuff that is very similar to this is out there already floating around and probably by people who didn't promote ads on social media pushing their cheat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And these things are profitable, man. Like in this past March, BBC reported that Chinese authorities busted what they called the world's biggest cheating ring, which brought in sums of 76 million, not 7.6, 76
Proper this time.
million dollars.
So think about that. What would the fine have to be to deter from, you know what I
I
mean? Like a
know.
$100 million fine to in creating cheats? Like that's crazy.
I
Just get
know.
put them in jail.
But yeah, I guess you're right. Because then if you find the person $1 million, then what are they going to do? Just run away with their $75 million? Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't do anything. It,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to put them on trial, I guess.
Even a little bit of jail time. It's like you could go to jail for 30 days if you create hacks. I don't care. Like, 2 weeks, whatever it is. I think jail time will deter, monetary fines will not.
I guess. Yeah. Jail usually does that, I guess.
Yeah.
I
So
hope. I don't
also
know.
just don't be a scumbag. And if you, I mean, this isn't going to deter any people creating cheats or whatever, but yeah, don't create them, don't use them, don't be a scumbag,
Just
don't
get
be a
good at the
scumbag.
game.
Yeah.
Just get good at the game.
Let's talk about something happy.
All right. Let's end things off with my happiness of the day. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Man,
Oh,
Alex, I think I'm going to
oh,
play it.
I think I'm gonna play it too.
I think I'm
I
going
think
to
I'm
play
gonna
it.
play it. I'm very excited for this game. And yeah, we see. Okay, we have a host of. Okay, let's start here. If you don't know what Nickelodeon All Star Brawl is, if you know what Super Smash
Figure it
Brothers is,
out.
this is like Super Smash Brothers with Nickelodeon characters.
Yes.
Two and
Yes.
two together.
It is that.
Yes,
Will be
got it.
released for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Microsoft Windows. So, hey, Brawlhalla,
Yeah,
basically that. But
coming for Brawlhalla.
they're coming for him.
Maybe coming for Smash Brothers,
Probably
like
coming for Smash Brothers. Absolutely coming for Smash Brothers. Listen to some of these characters that are available on Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I need to say the full name every single time just so people can remember it, you know? The first person to be shown on the trailer, Michelangelo, the
Yes.
orange turtle himself. Lincoln Loud from the Loud House, Powdered Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy. They're
Yeah.
bringing back Ren and Stimpy.
I haven't thought about Ren and Stimpy
Same.
Ugh.
I think that's the thing with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Is it brings back so many characters that you may or may not have forgotten about. For me, a lot of these, like they haven't fallen into the depths of my memory. They lie on the surface, just ready to pop out whenever they pop, whenever that happens. Characters like Sandy Cheeks and Patrick Star and SpongeBob, all from SpongeBob SquarePants. Of course, SpongeBob SquarePants and TMNT going to be the biggest roster. They're basically going to be the Fire Emblem of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Just keep pulling more turtles, keep pulling more sponges.
Yeah, we're eventually, I'm sure, going to get all of the turtles. Going to get Shredder, going to get Krang and Bebop. I think that was also a character in.
Yeah. What was the Shark Man called?
I don't remember. I do not.
He was cool though.
I don't know, whatever. We got Oblina from Real Monsters. That one was a deep cut for me.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
The second she popped out, I was like, wait a second, I know this. This is from Real Monsters. I didn't remember the name, but
didn't remember the name.
That guy, and then there was the guy who like held his eyeballs, the little like flesh monster who held his eyeballs. Like, yeah. Oh man, he wasn't. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Nigel Thornberry, of course, you're gonna put Nigel Thornberry in your game. Biggest meme of 20XX, you know.
Right.
You got Lucy Loud from the Old House. I don't actually know that one.
That's the only one I don't know.
Actually, yeah, so. Between. Oh, was that also from the Loud House? I'm just reading. I'm reading it wrong here. It's probably
that is from the Loud House.
Got it.
Yes, I don't know anything from the Loud House.
Yeah, Lucy Loud and Lincoln Loud, both from the Loud House. I don't know. Helga from Hey Arnold, of course. The OG. Hey Football Head.
Hey Football Head.
You got Reptar. Yo, I'm a Reptar main though.
Honestly, I was going through this and I was like, I'm gonna pick definitely a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle until I saw Reptar,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I'm using Reptar.
Oh, they're using Reptar. Okay, good. Got it. And then I thought that until I saw Zim.
Until
And
yes.
then when Zim popped up, I was like, oh, okay, well, there we go. I guess I found my guy. And then
But
Danny
I don't know.
Phantom showed up, and I was like,
Exactly.
let's go.
It kept happening. I was like, who am I going to use?
Yeah. I didn't realize how much of the Nick roster I knew.
Me neither. I was like, okay, I'm going to know a couple of these, maybe the Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles, whatever. I knew everybody pretty much.
Yeah, like when they
5 out of 10.
showed like Lincoln Loud second, I was like, I might not know all of these. But then they kept on like bam, 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 Powdered Toast Man, Danny Phantom. Like, yeah. Oof. The most important thing though, it
The
might just
most.
beat Super Smash Brothers in terms of playability.
It's going to be more than Super Smash Brothers in terms of playability.
And why is that, Alex? Tell him.
It's we just keep singing these sweet words once in a while, but rollback net code. You can play this fighting game online.
Yes.
What?
A fighting game you can play online. They got the right people. They talk to the right people.
Yeah. So they're doing this right. This isn't some flimsy attempt at a Smash Bros knockoff that you quite often see, you have seen in the past. This is going to be a good one, a real one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I'm wildly excited for this one. Thank you for ending the podcast on this, because I am just all kinds of excited. Have we gotten any kind of no, it was just announced. Game scheduled to be released in late 2021.
Almost no other information.
This year.
Not a lot of, we got half a year to go.
Man, oh man.
Less.
Man, oh man. I just give me Helga Pataki. I will just break people with Helga Pataki.
I'm curious how it will play though. If it will feel sort of,
is it going to feel like a
like
ROM hack, or will it feel like an actual? Yeah, is this baby's first Smash?
Yeah, is it, or is it going to be more like Melee, where it's like super fast paced, like, very precise, very deep? I don't know yet, but
well, I can tell you we're going to find out. Dude,
and when it drops, we'll talk all about it.
We'll talk all about it. We'll stream it, dude. What's our Friday gaming session that we did for a little while? What was that
Casual
called?
Fridays.
Casual Fridays.
Yeah,
we're doing a Casual Fridays on
Nick Fridays.
Nick at night. We're just gonna do Here we go. All right, cool. Well, that's gonna be our podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Again, we talked about just so much today. Going back to LAN, the Faze Clan, debacle, CLGs, Bud Light extravaganza, the Warzone console hack, and of course Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, game of the year 2021. Calling it now. It's coming in late, but it's coming in hot. All right.
Yes.
Alex, where can people find you?
You can find me here every Wednesday, now streaming live to Rumble.
Yes.
So you can check out rumble.com. They're platforms similar to other video platforms, but yeah, you can host, you can live stream, do all those fun things. Yeah, find me there.
And then of course, if you want to check out what happens before the stream, you can go and check us out on Twitter at twitter.com or at made in esports, made_in_esports. We tried out Twitter Spaces today. I think that's a good way for us to do it, is just before the podcast, we hop on Spaces for a little while, we chat, and then once we start it up, that's when the stream is going. Go and follow us on all the other socials. We've got YouTube and Game Plus, all of those great places. Folks, I hope you have. Oh yeah, I'm still just Mike. You can find me where people are found. Again, I'm going to be streaming the Spider Tank project today at 9. You can actually go and check that out as a VOD probably as well. EST over at the Pokesports channel. So Everybody, I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.